myself Ankita Tiwari from LG Institute of Engineering Technology from ITSC department. I'm going to take a session from the subject cybercrimes and mitigation. The subject code is 3163213. The topic that we are going to cover, the module that we are going to cover is module number 4. Module name is operating system, security and privacy. The topic that we are going to cover in this session is security features and functionality. So basically we have done the introduction part in the last session. Now here, the introduction, the same thing, that is, we need to have what? Security. So basically security refers to providing a protection system to computer system resources such as CPU, memory, disk, software programs, and most importantly, data. So basically we need to have an information structure which needs to have been protected, which is in the form of information stored in the computer system. And that is basically provided by our authentication system to the OS. So a multi-programming operating system performs several functions that relates to security. Now here there are the 5 or the different types of functions which the operating system provides here. As you can see here, first, the memory management. We need to have a deep understanding about the memory management which is done by the operating system, and there we need to have the security, because the memory is the main part of our system where the data or the information is stored. So basically the first part that OS, that is operating system, covers is the memory management. The second part that it had is device management. So basically the device in which the operating system is there, that need to be have the management, where the operating system, how it works, how it takes the input, how it goes into the system, where the security files is being generated, how the log files is being generated, how they are analyzed, how they are stopped, how the firewall is being taken. So basically this is what the device management is. After that, it is we are having the another point of the function as a function of operating system is processor management. Now processors, we are having different types and different processes going into the system in order to have the processing part of it. Now if we are having these many processes, means a group of processes going inside the CPU in order to run itself, but the system will perform one operation at a particular time, so it need to have a management where the different processes are there. Now with respect to the priority, the integrity, the data, the processor will manage the processes. Now after that we have the security part. Now security is a very big thing where the operating system need to have it, where the data is to be stored, the information should be confidential, it should have the secrecy form, it should be authentic. So basically this is what the part is it need to have. So this is also a type of function only that operating system is performing. After that, error detection. Error detection means we are having different modules, different programs running into the system, and at a particular time the operating system will stop its working. So basically with respect to which error, how it will be managed, that is what the error detection is. After that, it has coordination between the software and the user. So basically we are inserting programs as a software, but the interaction part between the software and the user, that needs to be managed, and that is also a function of operating system. After that we have job accounting. Now with respect to that, how the jobs means the different modules, the different working, the different processes which is going into the system, operating system, so that needs to be scheduled, that needs to be accounts. After that we have file management. File means different files, program files, software files, the log files which is generated into the system, so that need to have a management. So basically the operating system, as we know from the word itself, OS means the system, our heart of the system, comprises these many functions. Okay, now these many functions will have all the opportunities that it need to have in order to perform into the system. Okay, the first is, as we have already discussed, memory. Memory means data. Device means the system who is operating. Processes, the different processes that goes into the system in line. Security is a very big concern that needs to be applied to all of the processes. Then error detection. The system can have It can stop also. So which type of error, how to remove that error. So error detection system. Then coordination between software and the user that it needs to have. We have the converter also that converts the program part to the user understanding form. Then we have job accounting, the different job schedules which is already there into the system in order to manage that, accounts that. After that we have file management, different files, log file, system files that is generated into the system that need to have a management. So basically these are the different types of functions of operating system. Now with respect to that, we need to have how these services work. Now here, as you can see, we are having the operating system, as you can see here. Now the operating system is connected with which is there into the user interface when this builds the system. Okay. Now in order to access the user interface, the operating system has these many things. What? Data. Then we have programs. Then we have CPU. Then we have memory. Then we have input-output devices from which the system and the user communicates. That is also being handled by OS only. But we need to have an access to the input and output devices in order to get into the system, to insert something and to get from the system. So these are the different resources which are connected to the operating system. Okay. Now this resource allocation is done by operating system. Now which type of service is provided by the operating system? As you can see, synchronization, as you can see there, concurrency, and we have control, deadlock, it needs to have the removal of deadlock. Okay, then we have communication, we have accounting, we have all these services which is provided by the operating system to the user in order to have the user interface. So basically we have users which connect through the user interface to the operating system, and through these resources the operating system provide that services. Synchronization, concurrency, control, deadlock, management, communication, accounting, and all these things. So basically this is what our system is, that have the resources, the operating system and the user interface. And we need to have a look on it, we need to have what it is. So basically when we come to the security part, and in terms of operating system, then we need to have which features and functionalities is being provided as a security by the OS. So basically the first thing that it needs to have is user authentication. So basically the operating system must identify. We have already discussed what is authentication. So basically the operating system must identify each user who requests access and must ascertain that the user is actually who he or she purports to be. And the most common authentication mechanism is password comparison. Okay, that means the password is correct or not, and that correct password will be already there into the system in order to have the access on it. So basically this is what the authentication part is, user authentication. After that it need to have memory protection. Now memory protection, each user's program must run in a portion of memory protected against the unauthorized access. Now the protection will certainly prevent outsiders access. Also, it may control a user's own access to what? For what? To restricted parts of the program space in order to go against the unauthorized access which can be in memory. So basically we need to have these two things that it needs to give as a functionality, we can say, as a feature we can say, which the operating system is handling it. Now with respect to that, we have file and input-output device access control. Now what do you mean by file? File means system file. It can be a log file. It can be any of the file which is already there. So basically here we are talking about system files and the input-output device access control, because from the input only it goes into the system and it will access the system, and from output only it will show to the other of the system. So basically it should have an access control over the input output devices. So basically the operating system must protect what? User and the system files from the access by the unauthorized users. Now from the word itself, unauthorized users, we are already knowing that is criminals, that is cyber criminals. Also it can be in the form of activities which is going to be, that is system attacks, it can be a user attack, it can be a program attack. So basically it can be any of the two, which is similarly input output use must be protected. So basically it can be stopped or it can be saved against the input output devices which need to have a protection. So this is what the thing is, that we need to have an access to it. After that we have allocation and access control to general objects. Basically when we talk about general objects, the user needs general objects such as construct to permit concurrency, then to allow synchronization. So however, access to these objects must be controlled so that the user, the one user, does not have a negative effect on other users. And again, a table lookup is a common means by which this protection is provided. So basically, allocation and access control to general objects, basically it will be done by which we can say is a common means by which the protection can be provided. And for that we need to have a table lookup where a table is being generated in order to have all the entries, and that can be checked in order to have the access of it. Now after that we have enforced sharing. The resources should be made available to the users as appropriate. Where you need to have it, there only we can have an access to it. So sharing brings about the need to guarantee integrity and consistency. We are already knowing the two words, integrity and consistency. The data is consistent and the data is integrated, means it is authenticated. So basically table lookup, which is a entry table form, combined with the integrity, controls such as the monitors or transaction processors, which is often used to support controlled sharing. Basically the sharing part between the two of the parties, if it is in the form of where we are having a table lookup which is combined with the integrity, it will have a control, we will have a support to the controlled sharing, so that the sharing part can be in a controlled manner where the access will not be granted to any unauthorized access. After that we have guaranteed fair service. Now all the users that expect CPU usage and other services to be provided, so that no user is indefinitely starved from this receiving service. Now the hardware clocks combined with the scheduling disciplines to provide fairness. So basically the hardware facilitates and the data tables combines to provide this type of security, where all the users except the CPU usage and other services must be provided. So basically no user is indefinitely starved from receiving the service. This is the main goal of this type of functionality. Now whenever we talk about the functionality, we are having different part. Here the next part comes as inter-process communication and synchronization. Synchronization basically comes between the two parties as the receiver and the sender, and the receiver and the sender, where the synchronization between the messages is being done. So basically executing the processes sometimes need to communicate with other processes as well. Why? Or to synchronize their access to shared resources. So basically this is what the part is where inter-process communication comes and the synchronization part comes. So operating system provide these services. These means this to provide the other processes, executive processes there to synchronizes their accesses. So these are the different services which is provided by acting as a bridge between the processes, so that it will be there in middle where the processes are being shared and responding to the process request for asynchronous communication with other processes or synchronization. So we can say that inter-process communication is mediated by access control tables, and with respect to that only we need to have a control of it. So this is what the security features and functionalities is. After that we have protected operating system, which is protecting the protection data. Now the operating system must maintain data by which it can enforce security. With respect to that, it should be protected in terms of data only, where the operating system must maintain the data by which it can force the security. Obviously, if these data are not protected, means the data which is already there into the system in the log files or the system files are not protected against the unauthorized access, which can read, which can modify, means any modification and delete, the system, that is operating system, cannot provide the enforcement. It should provide these and this data security, so that we can provide the operating system provides the modified the protection against the unauthorized access by which of the things: read, modify and delete form. So various techniques including encryption, we know encryption, hardware control and the isolation, where it supports the isolation of the operating system which protects the data. So basically we are having various techniques where we can apply it, that is encryption, then hardware control, then isolation. Now these are the different techniques where the operating system data can be protected. Now here the isolation of the operating system also protect data. So these are the different forms and the functionalities that it have, and we have already studied about the different security features and functionalities which it has and which it does. So this is what the thing is, that it need to have an access to it, and with respect to that only it can stop the unauthorized access. So basically these are the features and the security functionalities that the operating system gives and how it takes. So this is what the thing is that we have done in this session. Thank you.